He cries a lot, so you know that he cares. You're saying that Van Dijk is ugly.
Welcome back to another episode of the Pecking Order, Onefootball's version of the tier list, where myself and Paddy are here to join me at a reasonable distance.
At a reasonable distance.
We are looking at leaders / captains in football today, and we're being good leaders by sitting the regulation apart.
Correct.
And you can tell us which 5 categories we have.
Yeah, today we've got 5 categories, as you said. Starting from the bottom, we've got an absentee leader, so an absent leader. Part-time would be second from bottom. Role model would be right in the middle, square in the middle. Inspiration would be our second from top. And the last one, the king of all, the top dogs of all, would be warrior chief. Think your sort of Braveheart type character with that
Some
one.
William Wallace.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's get going then. Producer Ryan's going to shout out all the ones for us.
Ha.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ooh. Wow.
You know he's never been captain.
He's captain of Portugal, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah, Portugal. I feel like his club career has never been captain, but there is no way you can deny he's not a leader.
He's definitely captain clubs, like, in games. He's definitely captain in matches, that's for sure. Definitely, we saw during the Euros what an important role he played, even when he was off the pitch.
That was like assistant manager.
Exactly. So I would say for me, second from the top, I would say an inspiration. He's an inspiration. Maybe not that top level, simply because I think it's probably hard for people to actually relate to him because he's superhuman and no one else is.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. I'm actually going to go top level though, warrior chief.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I feel like there's probably different style of leadership. I'm not sure, whereas Ronaldo, you'd be more inspired by what he does than what he says.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So
and what he demands.
Trying to relate to him would be difficult. But just by doing what he does, you'd become a better player.
I'd see that point completely. But I would still have him second from top as inspiration.
And also, didn't he wear like that war paint during like one game?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go warrior chief.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba.
Wow. You first this time.
Okay, I'm going to actually put him. I would have said it's easy to mock him and say he's absent. But did you see that video in the World Cup final for France?
Yeah, it's very easy to mock him. Yeah.
He rallied everyone around him.
Yeah.
And I guess he's the opposite of Ronaldo.
Yeah. So are you saying he's a role model, which is our middle one, or maybe a part-time, which is our second from bottom?
See, that's the thing. I feel like every time he was to do something good and get serious and be a leader for younger players, he'll go and do something stupid that younger players and other team members would be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like this guy.
And he just attracts so many negative headlines, and not necessarily all those headlines are himself. He's obviously a big target for the press and
they're not all warranted.
Pundits, and in particular, we know a few who definitely don't like Paul Pogba that much. But I would still say maybe part-time leader for me. If he put his mind to it, maybe a bit more.
I think I'm going to stick with role model.
Okay.
Just one above. I think you'd still want to be in Paul Pogba's shoes, like in terms of his ability.
Oh, you want him next to you as well?
Yeah. And he's someone to look at, especially if he's dealing with this press stuff. I'm not sure part-time.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah.
On the border.
We've got to make the big decisions here, though. Yeah, because you clearly won't.
Kasper Schmeichel. I always feel like goalies are different.
They are. They're always vocal, so they shout a lot, so they look like good leaders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and probably a lot of the time they are, but it can be deceptive too. There's probably a lot of goalkeepers out there who are, not a lot, sorry. There's probably some goalkeepers out there who basically have the intelligence of your average brick, like every position on the pitch. Yeah. But because they yell more, they look more.
It looks like they know what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
To be fair, he was part of, such a sensational Leicester side.
Yeah. I'd say role model for me. Role model.
Yeah. I'm actually going to agree with you.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm going to stick him with role model.
Yeah.
He's maybe not. He has a bit of a legacy to live up to, and he's not more of a leader than Peter Schmeichel.
No, but who is?
Exactly. Yeah. Put Peter Schmeichel at the top.
He's done some cool stuff off the pitch, Kasper Schmeichel, with some charity work. So definitely role model for me. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The big one.
This is the big
one. This is always going to divide people.
This is going to divide people from his footballing ability to how much of a leader he actually is.
Yeah.
And I think in this day and age, everyone it's like it's like one thing he does will tumble into the next, and then suddenly you'll have someone making like a YouTube compilation of top 10 times Jordan Henderson shouted and was a real leader.
Exactly,
Whether or not that's actually him being a leader, or other players do it as well.
I mean, you know, obviously the players around him, the coaches that he has had. The coaches that he has had clearly, obviously, value him and his leadership. But we're not in the inner sanctum, so all we can do from out here is judge.
This is the thing. I feel bad if I'm saying that the fact he's not a top player, he's had a very good season, he's not a top player, takes him down as a leader, because that's harsh. But then also, if your leader isn't like being the best player every single week, then I'm not sure I could put him at the top.
Yep.
So the second one,
you would inspiration. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd actually probably have him as role model, because I do think he is. He is a role model, but I tend to agree that he's coming off a fantastic season, or at least he's had a fantastic season. But I don't put him in the same echelon as some of those players who might sort of sit above him as a leader and a player. And I think he's probably more someone behind the scenes, or in that sort of real nucleus of what that team needs. But I think we don't see too much of that from the sensational side of things.
Do you reckon he
pitch.
suffers because people view Van Dijk as more of a leader?
Maybe. I mean, Van Dijk also looks like some sort of
the thing.
Big behemoth caveman that's going to go in and going to sort everything out. And Jordan Henderson's got his part perfectly.
Yeah. See, this is it.
And
if
that's
you don't
not his.
Look like
it's all part of it, I think too. I mean, it's as silly as it sounds. But I think definitely he's a quieter leader. He does a lot behind the scenes that we don't see as sort of just viewers, but I would just say a role model.
So what you're saying is the uglier you are, the better leader you are.
You're saying that Van Dijk is ugly?
Brute was the word you used.
Oh, he's definitely an intimidating man. And I think that's more where I was going than ugly.
You can't have a side parting and be a leader.
No.
Paddy 2020.
Yeah, don't take too much care of yourself.
Okay, go on. Ooh, Messi.
Tough one here, son. Yeah, because there's definitely been some criticism of him for Argentina. Yeah. Where he has been captain for quite some time, with very limited success.
The thing is, I find again, if you're... He's one that I put in the same category as Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. You may not want to agree with everything he says, but you will want to do what he does. Like, you will want to replicate Messi as much as you can on the pitch, because... He's the best player on the pitch every time you step out on there.
Yep.
Having said that, I feel like Messi potentially is someone who isn't a born leader. Mm-hmm. He has assumed this position because people look to him because he's the best guy on the pitch. Sure. So it's hard to deflect this. You can't be like, guys, stop looking to me for inspiration. I know I'm the best of all time,
But this idea that he is super quiet and an introvert.
No, I disagree with that.
Because, I mean, you have a look at some of the comments that he's come out with in the last couple of months, actually, as Barcelona were dealing with a few things on board level. Messi's actually come out publicly mostly on his Instagram account to actually make some harder statements than we've probably been used to seeing from him for some time. So I get your point, and I think there is that conception of him, but maybe it's not completely accurate. And again, we're just judging from the.
I think as well he probably falls. People probably have that mindset when you compare him to Ronaldo. Yeah. If Ronaldo's the big, flashy, outspoken, visible big leader, then Messi, by stature almost, would be seen as the smaller, quieter. Sure. But I'm sure Messi definitely has
100%.
Yeah, like a tough side to him.
So where are you going then?
I'm going inspiration.
I am too, actually. I am too. I think that visibility is just something, even us sitting in the stands or in front of the TVs, that's something that he's missing on. Yeah.
Ooh, Jack Grealish. Well, he's got creamed hair, so I'm guessing you're going...
It's not a requisite. I was just observing something. Yeah.
I really, really am a big fan of Jack Grealish.
Yeah, and his leadership though? Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's had his run-ins. He's not always been the most mature of people. Yeah.
Not at all, but I think from a very young player, I remember Villa got relegated just as he stepped into the first team at the end of that Premier League season. And I think he's been the captain and the best player. This is what I talk about with Messi. When you're looked to as the best player, you assume the role of leader. Yep. Whether you want it or not, if you're the guy that's going to win football matches, you've kind of got to take on that mantle.
Yep.
And it's something that players, I don't know, like Pogba maybe struggle with. But with Grealish, he's a great leader. He's dragged Villa up from the Championship, and he's making a real go of it to keep them up there and be the captain. You know, when you're quite young, I think he's only 22, to be the guy that everyone looks to keep you in the Premier League when you haven't necessarily got the best squad.
It's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, and he's had a very, very good season.
Yeah. So what are we saying then? I'm feeling like you're about to put him on an inspiration level, which means that Jack Grealish and Lionel Messi are on the same.
I feel like he'd be a role model.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well. Yeah, I would definitely put him there. Yeah. I see your point. He's had some blemishes. He's probably learned from those experiences in a positive way. And I think role model is a good position for him to be.
Yeah. The reason I say role model as well is because if he was to get a big move, he wouldn't take on that role. He wouldn't be that guy at United or City or Liverpool because they've got inspirations and warrior chiefs in their squad. Whereas if he didn't need to be the role model, he may be happy to take a step back and just let his football do the talking.
Yeah, maybe. But then, I mean, you saw that we go back to Henderson, for example, who never really struck you as a leader when he was at Sunderland. He was, a winger, basically, who had a ton of pace. And he developed into something, and Grealish is already developing. So who knows when he turns up to one of these big clubs,
you're right.
How he might sort of sit in.
Okay, but I couldn't see him challenging. He's not going to walk in, rip Henderson's armband off and be like...
Definitely not. We can agree on that. So role model at least on both counts, yeah.
Sergio Ramos, straight up warrior chief.
Warrior chief. End it here. Yeah. I mean, you can love him, you can hate him. People do in equal measure.
Yeah.
But you know exactly what you're going to get as a leader from Sergio Ramos.
And you know he wins.
Yeah. He is the guy who probably stopped Cristiano Ronaldo from being captain at Real Madrid for so long. And it takes a very special someone to do that.
And to then command the respect of Ronaldo as well.
Yes,
in
exactly.
The process,
exactly
not
right.
Hate you
probably
for
that's
it.
even tougher than the first part.
There is no other foot for Ramos.
Forget about it, yeah.
Granit Xhaka. I kind of rate him the fact he's put this all aside and tried to come back into the team, but what a nightmare.
I mean, we had to have one that was an absent leader, didn't we? And I think Granit might fit the bill on this one. I think he is better than that, but I would say his last couple of months and obviously what happened with his substitution definitely was an absent example.
He's an absent example. I think the problem with Xhaka is that he's got neither. We're talking about lead by example with what you say or what you do. He's got neither. You don't want to be like Xhaka because he's a good footballer. He's not, he's not one of the better players in every single match, regardless of the opposition, by any stretch. I'm not even sure if he starts in the best starts on the team.
That's also...
And so if you're not the best player, maybe be the best leader with what you say or do. And then he did what he did, and he's out on both counts.
I mean, he looks like a leader. He's got that intimidatory, look about him, but it hasn't really worked out for him at Arsenal. That's for sure on both counts.
And even now, to try and come back from that,
I know it's a tough one. Yeah, just when you think things, haven't been able to convince people as it is, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Neymar. Oh, this is
He cries a lot, so you know that he cares. Like that's not. I'm not saying a leader can cry. That's okay.
Yeah,
you know that he cares. He genuinely cares about what he does.
And there's pressure on him as well in Brazil.
Yep,
like massive to follow this like Romario, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho,
it's Messi type. It's that sort of level of that, because at least in those generations when there were those other big players, there were several of them. Neymar is head and shoulders above anywhere else in Brazil at the moment, and will be for some time, I think. And as a consequence, he's carrying all that pressure.
The thing is as well, I feel like this is exactly what we discussed with Messi and Ronaldo. On the pitch, you want to be like Neymar. You want to have the skill that he has, and if watching him is so mesmerising, which it is, that it inspires you to be a better player, then for sure. On the other hand, if you watch him, what he says and does, and off the pitch, and arguing and transfers and money and parties and this stuff, you don't want to be like him.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
I'm going part-time.
Part-time. Okay.
It seems a little bit harsh.
That low.
Yeah, but I think at At club level, he hasn't proven it anywhere. And at Brazil, national level with Brazil, again, he may have not asked for this role, but he's been given it because he's by far and away the best player in the Brazilian squad.
I would probably go with role model. I think he's got the ability, and when he's on fire, his team does rally around him.
Yeah.
But I certainly think that from an actual leadership trait and his personality, there's probably something to develop there for sure as a leader.
To be desired.
Yeah, exactly. To be desired.
Oh, Harry Kane! You're expecting me to say Warrior Chief?
I know you won't, because Kane, even though you believe it, you won't say it.
Yeah, no, I won't say it. No, I don't believe he's a Warrior Chief, Kane. I feel like I'm repeating myself and everyone here. He's definitely a player, and you've seen it from what other people have said, especially other professionals in and around Tottenham and England. He's someone you want to emulate, footballing wise, and dedication wise, and being a role model. As for being a leader, I don't know. There's a reason he's not club captain at Spurs.
Yep.
Hugo Lloris is.
Quite a few of them would be ahead of him, actually, correct me if I'm wrong. Or at least have been over the last couple of seasons.
As
Vertonghen, guys like that,
Vertonghen for sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, as Kane has grown to be the poster boy for Tottenham and England, there's more pressure on him to perform as one of the better players. But yeah, I don't see him... Between him and Henderson, Kane's the better player, but Henderson's the better leader.
I would have them quite similar as a role model.
So I had Henderson in inspiration, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Kane in inspiration.
Okay, I'm going to go role model with Kane. Yep. I think it's just not a natural fit for him.
Yeah,
I think he's improved a lot at it because he's, again, been thrust into it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's completely without leadership qualities, but you don't get those. I don't get those Ramos type vibes from him by a long way, So
if he was never captain again and he was in a brilliant team who had a brilliant other captain,
it would be fine.
He'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Okay, inspiration. I'm going. You're going role model.
Yep.
Well, that is it then. All 10.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, producer Ryan, for shouting them out. That is the 10 leaders and captains. Make sure you guys let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Where would you have placed all of these 10? And who is the one warrior chief that we're missing on this list?
Yeah.
Could be one that we've missed off. Anyway, thank you so much. Let us know your thoughts. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Ciao.